G'day everybody, Wes Zandt here from the Down Under Centre. I'm currently in Victoria, in Melbourne, and I'm joined by Tom and Lou Roebuck down in Queensland. So Tom and Lou, just firstly, welcome and really appreciate you guys making the time for this video. We just want to sort of, I guess, hear a little bit about life before you moved to Australia, a little bit then life, how it's been for you, any advice that you would give, etc. So firstly, I mean, how many people are in the family now, guys?
We have 3 wee boys.
Yep. And you, perfect. And did you have children before you migrated, or the children have been, no, they were born in Australia?
They were born here. One was born in WA and one was, the other 2 were here.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. And how the grandparents back home feel about that? They're okay with it, or do they come and visit?
Yeah, they come and visit, man, but it's not ideal. But yeah, that's just the way it goes, I'm afraid.
Yep. Now
we've been back every time we had one of the boys was born. We went back and showed the family, you know. Yeah,
we were the same when we were in the UK. Come back to Oz and show off the new baby, etc. And now we're sort of like over here with our 2 kids and the UK grandparents. I guess with Skype and Zoom and everything and Facebook, like all weekend they're just chatting away. So you don't have the physical touch, but they can see the emotional side and be in touch. And I guess for the kids to show off all their new toys, or they're learning or whatever, they've got to show off a trophy or whatever it is. So they're still involved, which is good. So now, Tom, whereabouts are you based? Before you moved to Australia, where did you grow up, mate?
I grew up on the north coast of Ireland, in County Derry, a little place called Port Stewart.
Yep.
And then I went to uni and in Newcastle, north of England.
Mm-hmm.
And the first job I got was about an hour and a half north of that, in a little town called Jedburgh, in the Scottish border. And I had my whole career there. So I lived there for 15 years and became a builder. And
Perfect. And Lou, what about yourself? Where were you born, and where were you raised?
In Jedburgh, where he moved to.
Okay.
I was born and raised there, really. Moved to Spain for a little while and came back and met Tom, and then moved here.
Excellent. Now, whose choice was it to move? Was it both of you together, or did one who came up with the idea and said, "Hey, let's go to Australia"?
Yeah, so I was. I would say it was probably my idea. Work wasn't great over in the UK. It was like post GFC. I had the same company that I have now over there, and there was just a lot less work. And I was just chasing opportunities. I had friends over in WA that, and I knew that there was plenty of work there.
Yep.
So yeah, we were just basically chasing opportunities, and I went to those open days, what they're called, those migration agent open days, down in London, and one in Edinburgh or Glasgow, and eventually found a way through.
Yeah, good stuff. So was it lifestyle change in any way, Tom, or was it more just looking for work and sort of build your career up?
It was more about work at the time. I mean, the lifestyle is it's definitely a plus for us. We have a much better lifestyle here than we ever did back in the UK. Okay.
And Lou, when Tom suggested it, were you just like, yep, let's do it? Or did you have concerns, doubts? Was it an easy decision to make?
For me, I hadn't lived in Scotland for 8 years. I'd been in Spain. So I'd only actually been back to Scotland for, I think, about 2 years by the time we moved.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I was happy to leave again.
Excellent. Okay. So, and what year did you guys move over to Oz?
We left Scotland in August 2012. We got married. We got married in April 2012. We left Scotland and did a bit of traveling in August 2012, and we got our visa granted in the middle of December 2012. And I started work on the 2nd of January, I can remember.
Okay. And do you remember the name? Like, do you remember what visa you guys got? Obviously, it was a PR visa. Was it a 189? Was it?
Yeah, we were permanent residents before we got there here. So I can't remember. Was it a 7-9? I don't remember. I'd be making up
Okay.
numbers. 760, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
No worries. Okay, so and then okay, so you arrived in Western Australia. How long did you? Because obviously you're in Queensland at the moment. You're in the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
At the moment. So how long were you in WA for, guys?
Well, it was part of our visa. So our visa stipulated it was a skills. It was a state sponsored
Yep.
visa. So we had to live and work there for the first 2 years. So we moved over, but it wasn't really. I mean, it was a beautiful place, and there was plenty of work, but it wasn't the type of work I was chasing. You know, I was a renovations builder, and that kind of work doesn't really exist there. They do more new builds, and I was building. I was building commercial. I was doing commercial building, so it was very large structures. You know,
Okay.
and I didn't really enjoy that. So yeah, we made the decision after our second kid was born. You know, there was a bit of crime where we were living, and so we went to just search for pastures new. You know, so we went for a bit of a travel. We took 5 months out, and
wow.
Lou Googled nice places to live in Australia, and it came up a town called Perigian Beach, about 10 k's from here. So we just went, right, okay, let's go there.
Oh wow, and you're still there
now? Where we just live about 10 k's south of there.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? That's good. Okay, so all right, so you had the 2 children in WA, stayed there for a couple of years, and then moved down to Queensland. Now, when you first arrived in Western Australia, I mean, were you were you blown away? Was it nice? I guess it's beautiful beaches and scenery and everything like that. Whereabouts in WA were you?
Just south of Mandurah, in a place called Falcon.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely very different to Scotland.
Yep.
Lifestyle, everything was completely different. But yeah, so it's just really about establishing yourself. You know, they didn't really recognize any of my skills first up when I got there, so I just had to basically prove myself.
Yeah,
which doesn't take too long in Australia, really.
Okay, so you Googled, you found a place in the sunny coast, and now you've been there for what, probably the last 6 years? Would that be fair? Be about 6 years?
Yeah, 5.5 years. Yeah, so we moved back over here, and then basically had to re-establish ourselves completely. We didn't know anybody, didn't know any clients, didn't know any suppliers or anything. So literally, you had to start back on the tools with just me.
Okay.
And then build a business back up. And then we got better clients and met all the suppliers, and we've got really good contractors now, and the jobs just got better and better. There's loads of work here, ongoing for well after I'm retired, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's absolutely perfect. The place is just suits us down to the ground. It's great for kids. We loved it right from the start, and then now business is booming, and yeah, so we're just growing.
So, Tom, when you first moved from WA to the sunny coast, did you so were you a subcontractor, or you just went out there and sort of advertised for, put yourself out there, got your build? Is it your builder's license, your contractor's license with QBCC? How did you go about that, mate?
Yeah, so I when we first got here, I just applied for my license. I'd already previously in WA, I'd started the process, so I had done a qualification there. I just had to get my had to do diploma in building and construction.
Yep.
But that was recognized prior learning on what I already had. I'd kept all my documents. I brought all my documents from my previous business in the UK.
Yeah.
So they eventually gave us after a few hoops and some red tape, they gave us the license that we needed as so we're fully licensed builders.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically I then started. I just put myself out there, and yeah, did really small jobs at the start. Felt like I was blooming 20 again, but yeah, it very quickly picked up.
Good stuff. Now, obviously, the kids are born, born in Australia. From you guys growing up outside of Australia, is it? I would assume it's a totally different lifestyle from how the kids grow up to how they potentially would have grown up if you raised them outside of Australia. Like, what are those differences, do you reckon, guys? Like, what are the main things that you would say would be different?
I think it's outdoors. Like in Scotland, it's cold all the time. In the summer, it's cold. It's just cold. So you spend a lot more time indoors. So here they're at the beach. They have a pool, which you just don't have in Scotland. they're just really lucky. They're just outside all the time. All the time.
Good stuff. And sorry guys, how old are the kids now?
Youngest is 3 in a week.
Yep.
And the 5-year-old, and the oldest is going to be 8 in December.
Oh wow. Okay. So what's are they playing sports? Are they active? I know we spoke earlier, Tom, about you catching tuna off the back of a jet ski, which I just find is just amazing. But you know, what sort of stuff are the kids into? Are they playing sports, etc. over there?
They're a bit young to do that. They're still we've only got one in school, one's in pre-prep, and then one's in year 1. So yeah, he's just started doing swimming at school. But yeah, so they're a bit too young to do sports. But I mean,
surfing now.
Yeah, they're surfing. So our middle one got up for the first time this weekend.
Oh, nice.
So that was a bit of a milestone for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're big into swimming, and
Fishing.
they both
fishing with you.
they both love fishing, big time.
That's good. That's good. It sounds like you got them living the lifestyle. Do you go out for a wave yourself? Do you, mate? Do you have a bit of a surf?
Yeah. I like a bit of surfing, man. I did it a lot in Ireland.
Yeah.
But yeah, here you don't need a wetsuit, man. Oh, you need a wetsuit so you need a shorty in the winter.
Yeah.
But we're just about to lose that in a couple of weeks probably, and then it's just shorts.
Yeah, well, back where I'm in Melbourne, mate, I went out there the other day, and you definitely need a 3-2 wetsuit. In Vic, mate, it's a bit cold, but hopefully in the summer I can ditch that for like a rash vest and a pair of boardies, which helps. Okay, good. So we've ticked the boxes for that. Now, obviously, work. You yourself and Lou run a business, and how long have you had? Like, I'd say from when you first got on the tools in Queensland. Well, we won't worry about the WA, but when you first got on the tools in Queensland, how long did it actually take you? Was it like 3 months, 6 months, 2-3 years? How long before you and Lou started to feel comfortable with the work coming in and the money that you're earning, etc.?
It's hard to put a timeline on that, I suppose. I mean, at the start, I mean, it's always hard establishing yourself anywhere. You know, you've got to set yourself up. We did have a car we brought with us from WA, so that was a good start. And I obviously had all my tools, or most of them. So yeah, you just build your tools up as you need them over time, which you don't really feel the effect of. But yeah, we had a rental at the start. It took us a couple of years to get recognized because I was self-employed. A couple of years before they would give us a mortgage.
Yeah.
And we then bought our own home. So yeah, I suppose like within the first 6 months were a bit sketchy, I suppose, and then like it's definitely a lot easier than it is in the UK, you know.
Okay.
I mean, one of the reasons why I left the UK was because I didn't want to work as much, and you know, I worked every weekend in the UK, and I don't work weekends here.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, look, you know, for people watching this video, Tom and Lou actually employ people migrating, and we spoke about that before. How you really look at the people with UK qualifications and that experience. And you made a comment before where the people that you want to employ are people that have families, etc. Do you just want to run through that again with us, mate, for those reasons?
Yeah. So I would like to. I'm looking for a good chippies that want to stay with me for a long time. I think we've got an attractive package for them. You know, we're pretty good company to work for, I would say. And this is an amazing place to live. So like the reason why we moved here is because, you know, we've got kids, and this is just brilliant for families. And ideally, I would have like a good quality chippy that's got a young family that he needs to provide for.
Yep. Yeah, and we spoke about it earlier. I think in your early 20s, you sort of like to travel and just do that, isn't it? But once you're sort of, well, what I call is your second life, when you become, I guess you're an adult when you're 16 or 18, whatever it legally is now, but you sort of settle down when you got kids, and then you got to provide for the family, and then it all ends up to your third life, which is when you and Lou retire and sort of make the most of the success you've had through your business and raising the children and etc. Obviously, you'll still be doing handouts, so they're probably 20, 25. I think that's what the kids do these days. But yeah, it's really good. It's actually exciting to hear, like to hear from you guys with that. Now, going back with the tools and the vehicle. So, did you drive from WA to Queensland, or did you get them shipped over? How did that happen?
Yeah, we had it was Lou's car. we packed that into a container, and
Okay.
all our tools, and we'd actually shipped stuff over from the UK, so we had all our furniture too. So we just stuck the car, all the furniture. Geez, we had a quad bike in there. We had heaps of stuff and just stuck it in a container, and you stick it on the train. It just gets shipped over here. It's easy.
Okay. Well, that's
And
good.
then we had another car that we drove over. So we drove over. We had like a camper, and yeah, we drove that over. So we drove the camper over, and everything else got shipped over.
All right. So down. Which way did you go, mate? Did you go down like through down through South Australia, like Nullarbor Plains, South Australia, along like sort of Great Ocean Road through Victoria to New South Wales
Yeah.
on the coast, and then end up in sunny
Just
coast?
followed the coast the whole way, mate.
All right. Now, for people listening, that might sound like a short drive, mate, but how long? Do you remember how long it took you to get from A to B?
I mean, we were hanging out as we were going along the way. I think we were 4 months.
Yeah, I was pregnant with my second
Yeah,
child.
that's right.
Yeah, it's good that and some like did you find you drove for lots of days? Lots of hours and some days, then settled in a spot for a couple of weeks, or just set in one spot for for a bit longer?
Well, we would do maybe 2 or 3. Geez, a long time ago now. But yeah, we would probably do 2 or 3 days in one spot and then just cruise along to another spot. And if you didn't like that, we just move the next day. And it was amazing, man. It's amazing coastline.
Yeah, it's beautiful down that way. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. But yeah, brings back memories hearing you say that. And what about any places that you'd recommend to people down from WA to the sunny coast? If someone was looking to go, mate, did any places stick out? For me, it was Streaky Bay. I thought that was really good down in South Australia.
Which was Streaky Bay? I can't remember Streaky Bay. There's
it
so many
right.
places, man. So many amazing beaches and so many cool towns.
Oh, and Esperance.
Esperance.
down that
Yeah,
way.
Esperance. Yep, south of WA.
Cool, that was lovely.
And then there's around Melbourne. What's that place called?
Wilson's Prom. Wilson's
Mornings.
Prom?
Yeah. Is it Wilson's Prom near Melbourne?
Yeah. Well, we're actually. I'm calling you from Mornington Peninsula. That's down in Vic.
Yeah, right.
That's we love it down here. With English partner and 2 kids that grew up in England. So it's suited our lifestyle. But as I was telling you earlier, mate, today was weird. It started off being really sunny. It's still, what are we, the 11th of October? It's only about 18 degrees today. But we started off with a bit of sunshine, and then I was packing the kids' bikes in the car before we spoke. And then out of nowhere, mate, it just rained for about 5 minutes. Sort of wet the garden, and then and now it's just looking out there now. It's sunny. It's a little bit different. The weather in Melbourne, but those spots that you went to, is there other like where would you go on? Where would you guys go on holiday to sort of get away from where you're living? Do you guys take places in Australia or outside of Australia for your holidays now?
Yeah, man. I mean, this place is huge. So like because of lockdown and stuff. I mean, since we've moved here, we went to Bali, we've been to Thailand, but there's so many places in Australia to go and see. So since lockdown, the first year we went to
That wee island.
Heron Island at the bottom of the reef. Then recently we've been to Fitzroy Island. It was lovely.
Went to 1770.
1770, which is up near Bundaberg.
Yeah.
We're just about to go to Roebuck Island this weekend. Yeah, man. So there's just like heaps of places in Queensland. I mean, Queensland's, it's like 8 times the size of the UK or something. So it's there's just so much to see here.
Yeah. Now you guys seem obviously pretty laid back. I think you're sort of. I think when people want to migrate to Australia, there's obviously lots of stress that comes with it, from skills assessments to visas, and nothing runs real smooth, etc. But even just picking up, you've got 3 children at the moment, and you're going to head away for the weekend now. So what does that look like? Is there much planning, or is it just jump in the car? How does it work? Are you in the caravan this weekend, or you booked accommodation?
We've booked accommodation, but this is the first weekend because we have no family here, but Louise has an aunt. So we generally don't we don't have grandparents to look after the kids or whatever. So they come with us wherever we go.
Yeah.
Except this weekend. This weekend is the first weekend we're leaving all 3 kids behind.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. That's exciting. Well earned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well earned. I think when you are on holidays with the family, especially, well, I haven't had the family in Queensland at the moment, just arrived in Victoria. But it actually is quite easy to pack everyone in the car and just take off, isn't it? And then just arrive at these destinations that, even though they're in the same state, they're so different, aren't they, to explore if you're inland, more out, or if you're going to sort of like, when you mentioned a few of the islands that you've been to and all that before as well, it is pretty easy to get from A to B, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's, for a start, the population's a lot smaller here, so the roads aren't anywhere near as busy. But I mean, we quite often just go, we just put the camping gear in the car, and an hour up the road, there's just a beautiful beach, where we can go camping up there.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And when you say go camping, so what, you just drive straight onto the beach and then just sort of camp on the beach, or is it designated camping spots?
Designated camping spots, but yeah.
Right on the beach.
It's right on the dunes.
Yeah, you would have done that. Did you spend a bit of time on the beach down in Esperance, or in WA? You can drive straight on the beaches there. Did you ever go camping on there?
Yeah, we drove that whole length of that beach, actually.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Just taking the car out and then just lighting a fire and just spend a couple of days just out there fishing and just relaxing. We should be promoting fishing, I think, with our chats. Tom, not really Australia. But anyway, it's a big part of the lifestyle here, which is good. Okay, so, all right, so you've got the outdoor lifestyle that you guys were looking for. Surely there must be, I mean, everyone has, regret's a funny word to put down, but do you miss anything about, the UK or anything like that? Are you missing things? I mean, is it food? Is it lifestyle? Obviously family, but is there anything else that you're really missing at the moment?
Other than family?
No. I mean, it is, yeah, no. It is frustrating not being able to just pop over and see your folks or whatever. But yeah, other than that, no.
So yeah, no regrets. That's good. Okay, any advice you'd like to give to people that are looking to make the move out to Australia? It's a big move, and you guys have, let's be honest, you guys have nailed it. You've got yourself a good business. You've done lots of travels. It's now you got the family all set up as well. But I guess, well, yeah. Any sort of advice you'd give to people looking to make the move? We'll do that one first, and I'll have another one in a minute.
I wish I'd have done it sooner. But yeah, I mean, it is daunting. Yeah, it is daunting, and there is lots of hoops to jump through. But I mean, you've got to really want to do it. But yeah, it's definitely paid off for us, and we're much happier now than. Yeah, it's perfect for us.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Anything you guys would like to add at all about this? Anything you'd like to sort of say? Maybe give us 3 locations close to where you are on the sunny coast. You don't have to do this if you want to keep them a bit sort of secret. But if you've got any sort of places where you'd recommend people from the UK to definitely attend?
3 places near here.
I'd say Fraser
Island, yeah.
Definitely.
Fraser Island's about 2 hours from here. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's world famous, isn't it? Do people know about Fraser Island in the UK? Not sure.
I believe so. Well, I hope so. It's really weird. Even people in Australia, because it's so big, like lots of people don't even go. Like going to Queensland for some families is like, from like Victoria and all that. It's equivalent to sort of like going to France or to see Big Ben in London. They just don't get around, some people, because it's such a big country, and so many people also say, like, why would you want to leave? Like, why would you want to go anywhere else? Because you can see different parts. And I guess it's also the weather. So where you guys are in the sunny coast, obviously you guys, like, how do you deal with the humidity? It gets quite humid where you are?
Yeah, it does, man. It gets stinking in the like January, February is pretty sweaty.
Yep.
Yeah, you just
sit in the swimming pool.
You just learn.
You make it sound so hard, Lou. Just stick in the swimming pool. It gets hot, go to the swimming pool. But I guess there's air conditioning all over the place, isn't it, up there?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have aircon in our house. We've just got windows and doors and louver windows and just open those. Yep. So I don't really like air conditioning. We can't sleep with air conditioning, so you don't have to have it. You acclimatize, man. It doesn't take that long. It's not that bad. Like at work, guys, you just have to take precautions. Guys wear hats and long sleeve shirts and take plenty of water breaks and make sure you've got plenty of water and ice water and stuff. And yeah, it's a lot easier to deal with the humidity and the heat than it is to deal with the rain and the wind back home.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well said. I think that's, yeah, I totally agree. If you're an outdoors person, there's nothing worse than being sort of stuck inside. All right, I've got to ask this question though, Lou. You might be able to answer this, or Tom. What's with the snakes and spiders and everything like that? Like sunny coast. Now, be truthful. You see plenty of snakes and spiders, or
I went about. How long have we been here for? 9 years.
5.5 years. Oh, since the start.
Since the start, I went about 9 years. The only snakes I saw were either dead on the road, or in the zoo. In the last 3 weeks, I've seen 3 snakes. I rescued one off the road. I shushed it along the road. I was sitting on the beach and one came out the sand dunes, a big brown one. And then Tom got one out of the tree the other day. The kids found it.
Yeah. So they're not all deadly, you know. So that they're you know, we get massive carpet pythons here, and they're just big, long, like constrictors.
Yeah.
And they you know, you have to blooming put your foot in their mouth for them to bite you. You know what I mean? But they go massive. But you know, I didn't want the dog attacking it or wherever, so I just carried it over with a big stick and put it in the bush. You know,
well, you did it yourself. You didn't call a snake catcher. Just went out there and. How big was it, mate?
Oh, about 6 foot. But I had a big pole, man. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't going to pick it up. I had a big pole.
Oh, this is so good. This is so good. All right. Well, guys, look, thank you so much for participating in this. I think, you know, the whole reason why we do these little videos is just to sort of, you know, meet people that have made the move and just get that real life feeling. It's for me, I think, you know, well, you know, being the owner of the migration business, it's so much more than, you know, skills assessments, visas and everything. It is the emotional side of migration. I always try with my clients to, I think, you know, you've got to manage expectations in life, but also really the emotional side of migration can take its toll. And, you know, you guys have just seemed, you know, extremely relaxed people. Obviously, it sounds like this with, you know, before you actually moved to Australia. But it's just worked out so well for you. So, you know, firstly, congratulations. It's a, you know, such a good story to hear, etc. And again, thank you so much for taking the time out. We look forward to working, you know, with you guys regarding, you know, bringing over English carpenters, etc., and help you guys grow your business. And you said something earlier, mate, that, you know, that the amount of work that's around, is it all construction? Tom, is it all around the construction, or is it just for carpenters, or can you see a long period of like skilled workers needed in Oz?
No, there's a massive need for, I suppose I could only speak for, the whole of the East Coast is had a massive influx of work. The Sunshine Coast has got, because of people have moved in here and the infrastructure was pretty weak to start with. We need everybody, like blooming from chippies to school teachers to blooming doctors and everything. This place is booming, and it's and it'll be like this for years and years.
That's it. So put it this way, if you're going to head out there, guys, if it gets too hot, you jump in the swimming pool. If you see a snake, you get a big stick, but you don't pat the brown snakes. You shoo them off. You get a big stick and you move them, and you move them across, and you'll be right. So, all right, thank you so much again, guys. Really appreciate it, and we might catch up in a couple of years and do this again, and see how many more snakes we've seen along the way, but also get to see how the kids are all adjusting to school. So again, thank you so much for making the time for this video.
Cool. No worries, buddy.
No worries.